There is a self-hosted AI coding assistant that is completely for free. Think of it as a GitHub Copilot alternative. It's an open source, on-premise, and it is an application with several key features that you would see with GitHub Copilot. Let me introduce Tabby. Tabby is a self-hosted AI coding assistant that you can set up with your own large language model. It offers many different features, including the ability to create software, code completion, debugging, chatting with your entire code base, as well as making edits to it. Now, take a look at this example GIF that I posted on my Twitter a long time ago. Now, in this example, you'll see how Tabby finds the maximum element in an array. It defines the elements and then it auto-completes the section. It can also suggest code that you might want to input into a section and it will execute the commands for you. This is the pair programmer that I'm going to be showcasing throughout today's video. Now, I'll be showcasing throughout today's video the different types of capabilities of Tabby, showcasing how you can set up your own large language model to the framework, and so much more. So with that thought, guys, stay tuned and let's get straight into the video. Now, before we get started, I'd like to introduce World of AI Solutions. This is a really big update that has been launched for my channel, and this is where I have compiled a team of software engineers, we have machine learning experts, AI consultants, and this is basically a team where we're going to be providing AI solutions for businesses as well as personal use cases where AI solutions can be implemented to automate certain things or to help business operations. Now, if you're interested, take a look at the Typeform link in the description below. I definitely recommend that you take a look at the Patreon page so that you can access the new subscriptions that will be releasing this week. If you would like to book a consulting call with me, you can do so with the link in the description below as well. Now, I've actually made another video on Tabby long time ago, but there are a lot of new features that I really want to mention, which is why I wanted to take another look at Tabby. First of all, they announced CodeStroll integration within Tabby. They have also introduced an answer engine. This is a central knowledge engine for internal engineer teams. It can seamlessly integrate with dev teams' internal data, delivering reliable and precise answers to empower different sorts of developers. You have a VS Code 1.7 Marks, which is a significant milestone that is going to provide a versatile chat experience throughout your coding experience. You can try the latest chat in the side panel within VS Code, which is something that has been just recently introduced. There is the ability to also focus on seamless integrations with GitHub. You have self-hosted GitHub. You can also utilize it with flexible configurations like HTTP API integrations. You have expanded capabilities, and there's so many other things that have been introduced over the past few months. So I definitely recommend that you try it out, and I will be showcasing how you can get started with it as we move forward into the video. So you may be wondering, how can you actually install this? Well, if you are to go over to the docs, which is something that I'll leave a link to in the description below, as well as all the other links that I use in today's video. Once you go here, click on quick start, and you'll see that there's multiple different ways for you to actually install Tabby. You can have it as something that could be integrated with your IDE, which is something that I truly recommend. You can also install this with Docker, Docker Compose, Homebrew, you have Linux, Windows, and all these different methods to install it locally. Now, what I recommend you do first is go over to the Tabby Docs website, and they actually have a way for you to try out this demo where you can ask it things. And this is something that I will be showcasing further on into the video after the installation. But you can also play around with this to see how well this pair programmer is. So you can head over to the docs, click on the playground button, and it will take you to this page where you can test out and basically see how this code is working for you. Now, this is where I'm going to be chatting with this chat demo within Tabby. So this is the chat interface that you can basically interact with it to generate code, ask it questions, and this was something that was released quite recently. This is where I told it to help me code out a front-end component. I want an animated button that says sign up now. And you can see it's going to start on compiling this. It's going to generate the CSS code for it using the animations from it. And it also even works on providing optional code from different programming languages from JavaScript. So if you want to add some additional interactivity or functionalities, you can use JavaScript. Now, putting it all together, you can see that it has now generated this. And now what I can do is I can showcase this component on an HTML viewer. So I went over to an HTML online viewer, which is going to showcase the code that was generated. And you can see that there is animations associated with the component that I generated with Tabby. So now that we have focused on Tabby's generation, I want to focus on how it's going to be able to deliberate an error, meaning that how it's going to be focusing on debugging that error. So I'm going to provide a large code snippet, which I just had generated from GPT-4 Omni. And basically this is a code snippet that has multiple different errors. And I'm going to see if Tabby is going to be able to provide solutions for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to specify, please find the errors and fix it. And then I'm going to send it over. So within a couple seconds, we're going to send in this doc and we should be able to find the answers within a couple seconds. So there we go. In this code snippet that I provided, I had said that there is a class, the CSS property, and it's set to 125%, which is, I believe, at the top. And basically what had happened is that if I keep it at this percentage, it will push the tooltip too far up. So potentially it could be out of the visible zone. So in this particular answer, you can see that it found that and it actually should be at 100. So you can see that it reduced it from 125 to the correct value, which is 100%. So you can see that it is an optimal tool that can help you I would say debug certain things. And in this case, if you're coding with Tabby in an IDE, it's going to be able to provide feedback automatically. It's going to let you know, and it's going to specify what sort of actions you should take to basically clean up the code. Now I'm going to showcase this product demo video, which is going to showcase how you can locally get started on the Mac with Tabby. So take a look at this video. It has a lot of other examples, and once you finish watching it, you should get a better idea as to what you can do with Tabby.
First of all, you can see on our documentation page that there are different ways to install Tabby. And for Macs with M1 or M2, the easiest way will be through Homebrew. Basically, you run brew install Tabby. And for me, since I already had this installed before, I can do brew reinstall. It should run fairly quickly. And good. And the next step is to bring up a Tabby server. You copy this command here. Actually, for today, since I want to show you a little bit more about our latest chat interface and also the web server, so I will also enable the flag chat model with a smaller model, for example, Wizardcoder 3B and web server. And definitely, if you have a more powerful GPU locally, you can run larger models for better qualities. And yes, it's up. Let's go to localhost. Here we go. So that's a cute dashboard that will bring to you as homepage. You can see your activities of using Tabby, for example, number of completions or number of acceptances. And you can also see I've been playing a little bit around with different programming languages. And since I actually had this run earlier this morning as well, so you will see the homepage look like this. But if it's your first time launching this, we will have a tutorial to guide you through registration and then go to the homepage. And good. Before we dive deeper into the web server, we can first use Tabby to write some code. I will bring up my VS Code. And for first-time user, you need to go to the extensions here and search Tabby and install our extensions here. Then on the bottom right, if you see Tabby with a check mark here, it shows that you're all good to go and Tabby's running. And great. Let's try probably writing some Python code here. For example, here I can do get time out, and yeah, that's great suggestion. And great follow redirects. Yep, that's great, and it's quite helpful, and also everything is running locally on your Mac. Great. Let's go back to the web server here, and in settings here, you can see more about what you can do to configure Tabby here. For example, in the profile, you can see your email and change your avatar and also change your password if you like. And in the information tab here, you can see clusters that are different jobs that are running, and the two large language models, one for code completion and one for the chat, and also a local code search index that we're building to help enhance the results suggested by Tabby. And for jobs, you can see the different cron jobs that are running and the logs and arrows here. And reports, that's the same dashboard here, but if you have a team running, using Tabby together, you can actually see team-wide statistics. And here I have another ULIT here. You can pick or choose, and you can also change the time range or different programming languages here, and it provides you a complete view of your team usage of Tabby. And great. Before we end this, I also want to show you two experimental features that we are actually working on. One is Chat Playground, and the other is Code Browser. And Chat Playground, this probably looks familiar to you. It's kind of like a ChatGPT experience, but it's specifically for developer and coding experience. And also everything is running locally on your machine. And for example, I can ask how to parse a CSV file in Python. And yeah, it's generating the results and the code and runs pretty quickly. Yep, great. And for the code browser, you can actually browse code that you're indexing in Tabby. For example, if I go to LangChain here, let's go to some code here and here. Yeah, great. And what else you can do here that's pretty cool is you can actually select some code snippets, and you can ask Tabby to explain this code to you, or for a function you can generate unit tests here. Yep, pretty cool, isn't it? And everything, again, is running locally on your machine.
Now, wasn't that amazing? This is the capability of Tabby, and it's something that I truly recommend that you try out. Now, just imagine it being coupled with another large language model like Sonnet 3.5. This would greatly enhance the way you utilize code, and it would basically enhance your code generation and your efficiency as well as your productivity. So I definitely recommend that you try this out. I'll leave a link to this in the description below. But that's basically it for today's video, guys. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. This is a great way for you to stay up to date with the latest AI news. Make sure you actually take a look at the Patreon page, because this is a great way for you to access different types of AI subscriptions to different tools completely for free. And lastly, make sure you guys subscribe, turn on the notification bell, like this video, and check out our previous videos so you can stay up to date with the latest AI news. But with that thought, guys, have an amazing day, spread positivity, and I'll see you guys fairly shortly. Peace out, fellas.